I am so pleased to have finally the real striker, keep calm, strike hard, directly from Cobra Kai, Daniel Bækkegård on the line. Daniel, you've been traveling. You are in Italy right now. What a couple of days. How the legs, how the body's feeling?
Oh yeah, it's been a good couple of days. I think it's quite the usual, a bit sore, a bit tired. Haven't really been able to sleep a lot, so I'm just happy, and that's the only feeling that really matters right now.
I happened to watch that T100 race from London. I saw something quite unusual, not your superb performance in third, but afterwards you were speechless. You almost couldn't find the words. Did you really not expect that you had that performance in you? Was that totally out of nowhere? I mean, that was all the best guys in the world there.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that I was able to perform on that level. It's been a year full of ups and downs in terms of injuries and crash most recently, and inconsistency. So I was sitting in the morning thinking, I was talking to my coach about like top would be a really good effort. Top five would be a dream. So ending up on the podium, that was kind of not really what we expected. But I was just happy and surprised.
It's no secret if you look back on this format. We have the T100 and before that the PTO Open, and your best result so far was a sixth place. You had a couple of DNFs and now podium. So do you think it's just your mental state of mind, or are you peaking at the exact right time, or the type of course? Have you had time to figure out why you're suddenly this good?
I haven't really evaluated on that stuff yet. I think one of them is definitely my state of mind going into the race, and also outside of the race. Right now, I actually just feel lucky to kind of being able to race, and that's a big part of it. As you said, having a subpar performance in Miami and an injury in Singapore, that's been like, I've had a lot of I've been pretty much injured and haven't
Yeah.
really been able to do much. So obviously that puts things in perspective, and to be able to actually race here, and I was in London injury free. And that was just a great experience. So I think I just enjoy racing way more now, because I also know what it feels like not to being able to race, and kind of the opposite side of the spectrum, where you actually are just laying in your bed and that's the only thing
Yeah.
you can do.
Exactly. If you look at some of your beautiful videos that you, some of the content from your own channel, I think you never ever looked this relaxed, shoulders down, able to joke about things, even though big races are coming up. You also found a super group of guys. You're training with Carl Smith is one of them. So maybe talk a little bit about your new setup there in Switzerland.
Yeah, it's nice to finally have a home. It's been many years of basically living out of my suitcase, and in some points that's obviously it's cool to see new places and go explore the world, and I feel very fortunate that I've been able to do that. In order for me to kind of reach the new level and actually enjoy my life even more, I needed a home, and I think most people can relate to that, a place where you actually feel like you're relaxed when you're home, and I really feel like I found that, and that's just amazing. And then it's in the most beautiful place on earth as well to train, with mountains and gorgeous nature. That's really been the best decision I've made in a long time. Obviously, also understanding that I can't do sessions all the time on my own, that I also need to train with other guys,
Yeah.
bringing in Carl Smith for training camp and stuff. I've learned a ton the last months in terms of what I need in my life and what makes me happy deep inside, and that's definitely one of them. Kyle, he's a great guy and have become one of my best friends. So I think that all contributes to actually performing well on race day.
I think that's super interesting. But if you go down to a training relationship, is that more like you have a guy all the time to pace it, or are you duking it out, pushing one another each day? What kind of a relationship is? But you can also imagine if it's a hard rivalry every day, you're going to tear one another down. So is it a bit mixed, or how would you describe it?
Nah, it's healthy. I think if you have that kind of rivalry where you tear each other down every day, then it's not sustainable for more than a week. I've tried that before in training camps, and I think that's just it's an immature way of being an athlete, and then you're not really a professional athlete if you do it that way. So what I've found is a guy who we understand each other quite well. We have this ideas on how training is supposed to be, and we can motivate each other. Obviously, when you train 30 plus hours a week, then there is some days where you're feeling a bit down or do not really have the energy to do anything, and then having this guy beside you who pushes you and motivates you to get the best out of yourself, it's clutch. And you can see Carl, he also benefited from it.
Yeah, for sure. He had a tear of a race. Fantastic performance by him.
Yeah. That was well. It's also I could see on that training camp that he was just on another level than I was. So from my side, it's not really the most surprising thing, but it's just good to see.
So you guys have to figure a way to recover super fast. You had to pull out of Roth, but I guess the plan, of course, was to finish super high there and go to London. So what are you guys doing to bounce back this quickly?
I have no clue. To be honest, I thought it would be near impossible to actually do well in London if you did a full distance 2 or 3 weeks before. So I have no clue how Sam and Magnus did that. You could also see Magnus; he was pretty he was pretty tired afterwards. Yeah. I have no clue at all, and I think it's very impressive. And I would like to know his secrets if he would share.
Exactly. I know a guy like Christian Høgen, how he did that a couple of years ago, where he used to race a couple of Ironman within very few weeks, and also what's the name of the Dutch girl who just did it? Els Visser raced, I think was it Roth and Victoria one week apart. So it's very fascinating. Not only how fast you guys are going, but also you take things we thought were impossible, and then everything just keeps evolving, it seems.
Yeah, it's exciting. I think a lot of it comes down to probably nutrition on race day and race week, and also shoes. I think the run is probably is the thing that takes the most out of your body. So if you can kind of keep that stuff down, the stress as much down as possible, then it's easier to recover. But it's still a full distance, so I don't think you should underestimate it. But yeah, as I said, I've done it the other way around a couple of times, and I think that's enough. Even doing a half distance a week before an Ironman, and when I've done that, it's been at like a lot lower tier races than what this is. So that's even a whole other ball game to at a big race like an Ironman Pro Series and Challenge Roth, and then in a
Daniel, it's no secret that you really wanted to go to the World Championship 7.3, but back problems and unfortunate things didn't make that possible for you. With this results, is there a new plan? Are you going 100% for the T100 series now? What's the plan?
Yeah, to be honest, that's always been the plan, because it would just be nice to have it in the if in case I wanted to race the Taupo one. Then again, I had a chat with my team the day before. There was a last race I could do in 70.3 Switzerland, but we just felt like it was not really worth it risking anything, having dealt with that amount of injuries. And yeah, it didn't really make any sense to like. It's a long travel as well, going from Hawaii to the Middle East and then back to New Zealand in the end of the year, and all the races at that point have been World Championship or T100 series races. So I think if you were in a place where you would feel like racing one more time, then it could be kind of a lower tier race, like not have that long of a travel. But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go. We end in November, end of November at the T100 at the finals, and then I think I'm just gonna go home and do some ski mountaineering or enjoy some training, because you also like I felt that last year where I raced a late Ironman and then you do not really have a long time until you actually have to be on the start line again, because we probably start in March or so. So you kind of you just push the start of the training, and I think this year it would be nice to just have one more month of like base work and strength work before the whole circus kicks off again. So to be honest, I'm actually happy I didn't go. It would be nice to go there with Kyle, and he lives in Taupo, so obviously it would be awesome to see and also be there. I think he's gonna do very well. So
Yeah.
But that's not
You could
this
be his
time.
triathlon caddy, so to speak.
For
a
we
couple
were
of weeks
talking
now.
about it. He could join me for Kona, and then I could join him for 70.3 Worlds.
That would be awesome. If we're going to talk about something that's not triathlon related, as we mentioned a couple of times, you have built up an impressive YouTube channel. If we look at some of the content there, humor is obviously a very big part of it. But my puzzle is what's inspiring you. I could perhaps trace a little bit of Wayne's World. What I'm referring to here is, of course, you have an opening where you talked about that you don't want to be that kind of channel who is all about sponsors, and then jump cut to where the sponsor is very much in focus.
Yeah, I actually haven't watched that movie, so it was
okay. It's not even that.
No, we're just having fun. It's my life. I think, it's a glimpse of how it is in my life every day on a daily basis. So, yeah, I'm not really I'm not really inspired by it. To be honest, I don't watch a lot of YouTube.
Really? Okay.
Not really. So
okay. So you're just a natural, maybe.
Yeah, I guess. I think Mitch is very good at capturing the right moments, and then obviously I have a lot of fun with my friends, and I enjoy what I'm doing, and that helps a lot on video. And then I think I'm a very sarcastic guy, so my humor is a lot of sarcasm, and I think that comes out or goes really well with the YouTube channel.
So have you, of course, you race all around the globe. Are there somewhere in particular where they don't really get your humor, and other places where they are really, down with the humor, your sense of humor?
There's a reason why I go a lot, or I enjoy going to Australia.
Yeah.
I think that they have a very nice sense of humor, and then there's also a reason why I would like to avoid going to another place I can't really say, because they are a huge part of my following. And in general, I love the guys, but I guess sarcasm is not a really big thing in the States, is it?
Do they have a senile president at the moment?
Yeah, and
okay.
I think they were just doing an attempt on assassinating. It was an inside job. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, it's
look at the evidence.
A quarter of a Kennedy. But
a quarter of a Kennedy.
yeah. It's not a full blown, but only a quarter. So it's
yeah.
But
I think at least the States, that's the place where I've been in most awkward situations, because people have actually believed the stuff I joke about.
Yeah.
And I'm 100% sure I'm not the only one who's been in that position. So
I recall actually you had that same shirt on at one point, and one of, I think the girl was from the States, saying, "Is that football shirt from your country?" And you just had deadpan and say, "No, it's haute couture." And they it just completely they didn't get it at all. So, but it's I don't know.
It's tough sometimes, but
Yeah.
yeah, who cares? It's life. You shouldn't take it too seriously.
What if we just go a little bit back to finish talking about London? Was there a lot of reactions afterwards?
No, not at all.
No.
I think, yeah, obviously there's been some kind messages, and my friends and family have texted and so on. But it's not really been massive, and that's to be honest, that's also quite okay. I've been
Yeah.
right now. I'm enjoying some time with my girlfriend and her family in Italy, and it's nice to actually. I've deleted Instagram on my phone, and that actually helps a lot because
Yeah.
then I don't. Yeah, you spend way too much time looking at stupid shit, and it's way better just to live in the moment than being present. And I think that's also the good thing about not having too much attention after the race,
Yeah.
because then it's easier to just sit on the top of a mountain and enjoy some spa and good food and
I think you are absolutely right, and I think yeah, more people should consider that. I don't think we really fully understand the impacts of having social media constantly close to you. So I think a guy like you in your position, you always have to be alert and reacting to what's going on, being able to cut that off. I think it's a very smart move, to be honest.
yeah, indeed.
You mentioned at one point, for instance, that you thought about Asia and Tokyo being, one of the top-notch places. But
Yeah.
I mean, when I think of Tokyo, I think a lot of people, super busy, a lot of lights everywhere, and you also, loving your retreat, going to the mountains. So the contrast there. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I think to be honest, going to I still mean it like Tokyo. That everybody should go to Tokyo at least once in their lifetime. I think that was definitely the best week I've had in terms of like traveling to a new place,
Yeah,
and most of it was definitely like every like the culture in Tokyo is just insane. When you go to places in Europe, especially, and most places in Asia also I've been to, and the States, everything is just it's not the real world in some way. It's like you go to Spain and you can still get the Viking Danish food if you want to,
yeah.
and most Danes are sitting there anyway. So like there's not a lot of real culture left in places, I feel like, and especially in big cities. That was the biggest thing for me going there and experiencing Tokyo, as it's just one, like they just keep their core values and the food there, and everything is just you just get Tokyo, you get Japan,
Yeah.
and I think that was really cool to experience. And at the same, with all the signs and everything, I went there visiting my girlfriend, and I was like, I don't think we spoke for the first couple of hours when we were walking in Tokyo, because there was so much things going on around me, I couldn't focus. So it was just like looking at all those big screens and all the people and all the food and all the like traffic and stores and shops. It was insane. And yeah,
Daniel, are you too young to have had a samurai slash ninja fascination? Because all the
I had
boys
many.
and girls from the 80s, they love that shit. So are you one of those as well?
Of course I am.
Oh yeah. So I don't know if you is that just my because I never went to Tokyo. Can you get your ninja slash samurai fetish fulfilled if you go to Tokyo? Do you have to get far out to Okinawa or
No, no,
something
no,
like
no, no,
that?
no, no, no. You can sit in a temple and do what you feel like is samurai stuff. So it's cool
Amazing.
to experience. You should go, definitely.
All right, Daniel, I won't take off more of your holiday, but finally, the next race coming up, is that a T100 as well and preparation for Kona?
I think as it is right now, then all eyes set on Hawaii,
Yeah.
and that's gonna include race in Ibiza as well at the T100. And then if things are going really well, then I may be throwing in another 70.3, but I there's very low chances of that right now. I feel like what I really need is just a big solid block of work, and just being home, enjoying the daily grind, and then all eyes on Hawaii, as I said.
Fantastic. It's so freaking great to have you back, Daniel, to see you where you belong at the top. And thank you so much for taking time to give a little bit of insights. So best of luck on your preparations. And hopefully we can have you on to another big interview.
Thanks a lot, Lasse. Fingers crossed. It was good to be on.